You're listening to the relaxing, soothing, and stress-free sounds of Sacramento Smooth Jazz.
Welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz, your ultimate destination for the most soothing sounds. That's right. Today, I've got something extraordinary to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. A musical experience that not only brings instant relaxation, but delves deep into your soul. I did say that. I have founding member with me, John Stewart from Groove Frequencies, and I want you to get ready to immerse yourself into the world of the exceptional smooth jazz group. They are Groove Frequencies, maestros and true artisans of the craft. I'm going to say that. I'm saying that because they seamlessly blend melodies to create a harmonious sound that resonates at the core of your being. Believe me when I tell you, 'cause I love listening to their music. And what sets them apart is their ability to capture the essence of smooth jazz in a way that has reverberated with enthusiasts around the globe. They bring fresh life in the genre, making it a genuine breath of fresh air. So get comfortable and prepare yourself as we get ready to dive into the mesmerizing world of Groove Frequencies. John, how are you today, man? Welcome to Sacramento Smooth Jazz.
Michael, thanks for having me, my man. Thank you so much.
Man, it's absolute pleasure. You know, I enjoy playing your music on the show, and we have listeners who love it as well. And so I said, I had to talk to you. I knew I had to reach out to you to get into the music, to understand it, because I hear so many different flavors within the music and I have questions, so we've talked, and you being the founding member, talk to us about your vision. What inspired you to start this group?
Michael, it was just, I had been doing music and then I gave music up, thought I was done, went in the military, and I did like 21 years in the Army. I thought I was done with music, but somewhere along the way, it came back. And when I retired from the military, I had this urge to start playing music again. I wanted to write is what I wanted to do. I wanted to write music and perform my own music. So I started writing. I came up with this concept for Groove Frequencies, and I wanted to do smooth jazz with a groove. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do smooth jazz with a groove. So I was writing these songs and I started reaching out to people I had met through my travels in the military and other places. I'd met some wonderful musicians and I wanted to work with them. So I just reached out to some guys and we started putting the things together. And from that came the first record, which was In the Groove. And from 2017, that became the first record. And from there, wanted to just keep doing it.
With respect to your very first album, going back to 2017, In the Groove, that's really, really nice. And seeing the evolution and the growth of your music over the last couple of years, it shines. And we will be talking about your latest, which came out this week. And I was privileged to begin playing it last week. For our listeners, for those of you who listen to us on a regular, I played this last week from them, and you know this, but the rest of you, prepare, because it's amazing. Now, from the very first one to now, you've had a couple other members join. And so how did that come about? You're bringing on some other pieces with respect to these the members, and they're adding some great flavor to the group.
Right. And I would say around about 2019, the latter part of 2018, I connected with Clay Benjamin. And I had a friend of mine here in San Antonio that kept telling me I need to check out this guy, Jimmy Reed. And he told me this for a while. And I finally did one day. I went to YouTube, pulled him up, and Jimmy was doing his thing, doing what Jimmy does. And as soon as I heard it, I said, yeah, I want to work with this guy. And I reached out to Jimmy, and we've been working, me, him, and Clay, which is the core, me, him, and Clay Benjamin. We've been the last two full-length CDs and the last two singles have been with those guys, me, Jimmy, and Clay.
Now, Clay Benjamin plays the guitar.
Yes.
Jimmy Reed plays the saxophone.
Yes.
And from what I understand, you guys are in different parts of the country and you bring things together. So you got Clay there in Florida, right?
Right. Clay's in Florida.
And Jimmy just relocated to Sacramento right here. Yeah,
just relocated. He sure did.
Jimmy, we're going to have a conversation. You're in the backyard here. So we're going to have a conversation. It's amazing what you guys are doing. And so how do you keep it fresh when it comes to you guys being so far apart, basically be so clear. And of course, I know technology does that because I see your videos and I see how you bring it together. Does it present any challenges when it comes to your writing and then you guys are recording separately but bringing it together? How does that work?
For me, it's not difficult at all because when I'm fortunate enough to work with these guys and there's some, really great musicians. So it makes it really easy. I'll sit down, and when I sit down to come up with an idea, I'm already thinking about who I'm doing it for, either Jimmy, Clay, or whomever. That's already at the forefront in my mind. So I've listened to these guys over the years. I can hum every note that they play on the records we've done. I know what they play. I know how they like to play. So it's easy to sit down and, come up with an idea that I can pass along. And, once they get it, they just fall right in and do their thing and make it. The song, I'll have an idea and the song just starts to build and comes to life. It just starts to come to life.
I could definitely tell how it comes to life. Now, if you just tuned in, I'm speaking with the founding member, John Stewart of the group Groove Frequencies. In fact, what I want to do here in just a moment, I want to actually just, stop for a second and let people hear some music from one of your albums, and then we'll come on back. In fact, let's do that right now. We want to get into one of your tracks, and we had talked about this. We want to go into your very first album, In the Groove, and that's the self-titled track, In the Groove, right? You want to go with that one?
Yeah, on that particular record, In the Groove, that's Eddie Backus Jr., who was formerly of Pieces of a Dream. Eddie, I met through Paris Spivey, who's the guitar player on that track. Me and Paris were both in the military. Also on that track is Jay Williams on drums, who played on everything I've done. I think the only thing Jay didn't play on was the Back to the Groove record. I had Jason Meekins on drums on that record. But anything else other than that Back to the Groove CD, it's been Jay Williams on all drums. I've had Rodney Kelly, very talented keyboard player out of the Baltimore, D.C. area on In the Groove as well. And those guys they were some awesome guys to work with as well.
Nice. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do right now, we're going to get into one of their songs from their first album, In the Groove, and the track's entitled In the Groove, right here on Sacramento Smooth Jazz. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. If you just tuned in, that track is In the Groove from the group Groove Frequencies. And I'm speaking with the founding member, John Stewart. He's with us today by phone. We're just hanging out, having a conversation. That's what we do, to get you some insight into the mind of their music. Now, John, you are a great musician.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not a musician. I don't understand certain things. But what I hear, though, I understand what I hear. And I'm listening to layers. I'm listening to a variety of notes and what you're doing behind the scenes on that. And that's what captured my attention when I first came across you guys a couple years ago. So what I want to do is have you explain how you get into a track, because I know our fellow musicians will get it. But for those who love to listen to your music, what goes into creating your track?
You know, as musicians, we're inspired by many things. It could be just something as simple as a person just saying a phrase or a word could inspire you to, to come up with an idea for something. So it comes from all sorts of places, Ideas come, I get in here, I just sit down and just start going through, putting down what I'm hearing in my head, and it comes out being what it is. I never try to take music in any direction. I just let it come. And what it is, it is what it is. I just let the music be true to itself. And then, the fellas do their part, and then we just hope that people will enjoy it.
Well, I can tell you right now, they really do, because as you said, you want jazz with a groove.
Smooth jazz. Yeah, smooth jazz with the groove. I want that neck bob, and I want you to have to go see your chiropractor after a couple of listens.
We were talking before we started recording, and I was saying, listening to a number of your tracks, I found myself doing the bitter beer face, because it's so good. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, that is good. I like the arrangement, and all your. Going back to your first album, In the Groove, in 2017. And then, of course, you got, after that, Groove Frequencies is the name of the album, in 2018. Then you have Back to the Groove, 2019. Grooves to Go, 2021. Of course, we have the latest track, which we're going to talk about in a second here. Bringing the pieces together. You got Guy Reed here in Sacramento. You got the guy Clay Benjamin there in Florida. You're in San Antonio, right? You're in San Antonio, Texas?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so what's on the horizon for you guys now? Because now you got this new track out. What's on the horizon to help people understand more about what you guys are doing? Because people need to hear you guys.
Well, just try to continue to put out more music, and to having people like such as yourself. You give us a great platform to be able for people to hear us. So we couldn't do anything without the smooth jazz radio stations. That's really the thing that's going to get us, known. Trying to make good music, keep making music, putting music out there, building the brand, and just hoping that people continue to dig it.
Now, I want people to understand, our listeners to know that you've had a number of people work with you guys. You've had Blake Aaron on one of your tracks. You've had Joe Albright on one of your tracks too. So, you have individuals that have been around the block, if you will, for some time, actually, join in on some of the things of what you're doing. What was it like working with these guys?
I've been a Gerald Albright fan forever. The dude is a master. He's a master instrumentalist. Not just on sax, right, but just the instrumentalist. Bass guitar and anything else he touches. It was an honor.
Indeed.
I reached out to him. He hit me back. He said, "Let me hear what you got." He didn't commit. He said, "Let me hear what you got." Right. I sent him the track. He hit me back. He said, "Yeah, let's do it." And it was so cool. When he finished the track, he sent it back. He said, "I even did a little extra stuff in there for you." He said, "I hope you like it." And I was floored to have, him on the track, because in my mind, it was nobody else that would make the track sound like it needed to sound other than Gerald Albright. And
right.
It was just an honor.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about your latest that officially came out this week, On the Run, featuring guitarist Clay Benjamin. Talk to us about that, because that there to me really allowed me to see the evolution from the very first album to this latest track. And I was blown away. I was telling you how I began to listen to it in parts over and over again, because I heard so many different elements in this that I'm like, how did he know to put this in it? That was amazing. And we talked a little bit about it. So tell us about the creation of this, the evolution of this? How did this come to be On the Run?
My main instrument is bass guitar. I play a little keys when I'm composing stuff too, and on the CDs. But my main instrument is bass guitar. I rarely do a bass, come up with the bass line as the start of the song. But in that instance, I was just fiddling around one day with my bass, and I had this little idea, this little riff I was playing. I started just adding a little bit here, a little bit more there. And things just started coming. Like I said, I wasn't looking for any particular anything. I just started adding elements, and it just seemed to work. Mm-hmm. A couple of arpeggiated parts here and there, and I say, that's cool. This is starting to sound pretty cool. And it just started to take on its own little thing. I reached out to Clay. I said, hey, I have this track. I want you to check it out, see what you can do with it. And I sent it to Clay and Jimmy at the same time. And I just told Jimmy, just listen to it. I'm going to have Clay. He's going to be featured on it. And I just want you to fit in where you can fit in. And then straight, usual Jimmy fashion, he just knows the right parts to put, where to put them. And it all worked out. It just all came together. Always does. Even though we're not here together, everyone just seems to just know what to do and where to do it.
That's a true master of the craft right there, when you just know how to insert yourself in without being overbearing. You know exactly how to blend in. Yeah. And that one is On the Run. Now, before we feature that, I want you to tell people how to get in touch with you guys, their website, social media. How can they connect?
Definitely our website, groovefrequencies.com. Please like us on Facebook, Groove Frequencies, Instagram at Groove Frequencies, YouTube. You follow us, please. We can use the likes because, like I say, we are fairly new to this genre, and we're just trying to build a name for ourselves.
Well, you're doing it well. I notice on your website, and ladies and gentlemen, when you go to groovefrequencies.com, you will see an opportunity for you to actually not just listen to the music, but buy the music right there from the website. So you don't have to go anywhere else to buy their music. You can support them right there on the website. I like how you set that up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We definitely want to just make it easy for the listener. If they see something or hear something they like, they can get it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard founding member John Stewart from the group Groove Frequencies. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, man. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I look forward to speaking with you again.
Thank you for having us, and we appreciate what you do in helping independent artists such as ourselves be heard.
As we finish up here, you want to introduce the latest track to our listeners, and you want to go ahead and do that?
Yes, I sure would like to.
Take it away.
The latest track that we have out is called On the Run, featuring Clay Benjamin on guitar, Jimmy Reed on sax, Jay Williams on drums, Kevin Andre on acoustic piano and acoustic piano solo, myself on bass, synth bass, and keys.
Awesome. Awesome. Here we are, folks, On the Run, right here on Sacramento Smooth Jazz.
Thanks for listening to Sacramento Smooth Jazz. To continue listening to Smooth Jazz 24/7, follow Sac Smooth Jazz on social media and listen by going to sacsmoothjazz.fm.